Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Really? How are you? My name is Kirsty, and this is Is It Expired? Alright, here is my disclaimer. As always, please don't use expired makeup. I know what the potential consequences could be. I am taking that risk for myself. I don't recommend others do the same. Now, I do test these products before I go ahead and put them on my face. I check the consistency, the texture, the scent, and I do patch tests. So these things are tested prior to putting them all over my face. And if things smell weird, feel weird, look weird, they are going straight into the bin. Otherwise, I use them for a week and then I check the performance. And if that's changed, again, into the bin. Otherwise, these products are getting some well-deserved love that they haven't seen in 5, 10, 12 years. And at that point, they're just going back home in hopes that one day I will organically finish them. Here's the dream. With that, let's just go right back to last week. I did use these products a ton. I did get ready 6 times last week, so I was very, very busy. I didn't get any photos, but just know these products were loved. I'm going to get started here with my Shany Cosmetics Loose Pigment in the shade 13, and I don't really want to shake this on its side too much because you can actually tell that there's windowing happening here. I don't know if you can, but I sure can, and it's almost halfway empty. Just bop that around a little. My loose shadow is almost half empty. That is amazing. I feel like I have not gotten any love on these. These are 12 years old, something like that, 12, 13. And I always tell myself, like, I have not been using these enough. I have not given these enough love. And don't get me wrong, I know I haven't. But the fact that I can actually see that this container is almost half empty is astounding to me. I love it. I love that so much. And this, I really do like the shade. It's just a warm, shimmery brown color that adds a lot of nice definition to the eyes. So it is going to go home. And this, maybe one day, in another 12 years, it will be empty. We'll see what happens. Let's move on here. We're going to stay just as old at this point. This is my Tarte Cosmetics Doll Face Blush. Now, this is probably also about 10 years old and has a 12-month shelf life. It's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It smells fine. It works fine. I no longer have the imprint on here, so it has gotten some love over the years, but I was really happy to use it for the week. I was really happy to feel like it got a lot more love. 6 uses is a fair amount of uses in the grand scheme of things with how much stuff I have. So if these things are getting 6 full uses before they go home, I'm super happy about that. And also, it makes me think about these things a little bit more, so I bring them out more, and then they just get more love, and it just accumulates. And then things are empty and it's exciting. Such is life. Okay, but this is going home and hopefully I will remember to bring it out a little bit more in the future. Next here I have my SheGlam Wretched Romance liquid lipstick in the shade Mummy Dearest. Now, I love this. I'm actually just wearing it again today because I don't have a lipstick pulled for this week. And this is going to be really messy, but I pulled out the stopper. There's not very much product left in here. These are tiny, so they shouldn't take me terribly long to get through anyway. They are about 4 or 5 years old, so it's time for them to go, and that's fine. But like even when I pull it out, there's not a ton on the wand. There's not much in the actual container. I'm going to just throw this back into my purse for the week because I think if I do that, either this week or next week, it's going to be used up. It's going to be done, it's going to be gone, and it's just one less thing out of my collection. So this, I love. I love the formulation. I love how it feels. It's silky and it's not super drying on the lips. I absolutely adore this formulation, so I'm kind of going to be bummed when it's gone, but it's getting the love it deserves. So, yes. Oh, there's an expiry on here. And actually, 2024-09-08. So, either September 8th or August 9th. Depending. These are from, like, China, I think SheGlam is, so it's probably August 9th. With that being said, if these are only 4 months expired, and I know I can finish this in the next week or two, we should celebrate! That's so exciting! I'm actually finishing something up just, slightly after its expiry. Not 10 years later. So I'm happy about that. Let's move on. Last tier for last week, because we did end up decluttering an item, just wasn't for me. And I'm not saying that the product was necessarily bad, it's just not necessarily something I used. So if you want to check that, last episode. But this is my BH Cosmetics Black Light Highlight Palette. And I love this. The issue with it, obviously, is these pans are huge. How much product is in you? My word, I don't even know. Oh, okay. Total net weight, 1 point. Wow, never mind. Why is it in ounces? Isn't that a liquid thing? Okay, 43 grams. 43 grams of product in these. Now let's take into account my blush. That is 3.4 grams. 3.4. 43. So even 6 of these does not equal this. These are huge. Humongous. And you use like the tiniest smidgen of a wisp of color with highlight. So yes, this got some love. Yes, I actually dipped into... Oh, I broke a nail. Who am I? What am I doing? Now I gotta go fix that. Whatever. Yes, I went into every color, so it definitely got some love, but you're never gonna see a difference in a week. Not with highlight, not when the products are this freaking big. Do I enjoy it? Yes, I do. So it's gonna go home. I do hope that I can get a little more love on it in the future. I would love to eventually see some pans happening here. Do I think it's gonna happen? I don't know. I have so much highlight, but I do really, really like this palette. I am glad I picked it up at the end of its life. Essentially, it was at Winners. I don't think they make this anymore. So I probably got one of the last ones there was. And I lusted after it long before I picked it up. I don't know why. It's just fun for me. And so because of that, regardless of the fact that it's probably 6 years old and maybe 5 years old, and it's going to be next to impossible to ever use something like this up, it's just staying with me. It sure is. Clearly, my nails are getting way too brittle. It is -20. It's so cold, so dry, and I just flicked my nail on that and snapped it. Everything's so brittle. It hurts. Let's move on to this week. You know, let's get started with this, with the elephant in the room that is my incredibly dark blush. This is my Arbonne blush in the shade Berry. I've had it for probably 12 years, and honestly, I haven't used it a whole lot. Like, you can't even tell that I've used it at all. And the reason is it's so dark. It is definitely made for a darker skin tone than mine. However, at this point, it is so old, I can't gift it. It's either use it myself or declutter it and it goes into the trash. So I feel guilty about that, which means I am going to try and use it. I'm just going to try and go really light-handed. You know, I can also use it on my eyes. That's definitely something I could look at doing, but it's very dark. It's intense. So with that, it's going to be an interesting week. I'm going to have to just remind myself, very, very light-handed, something super fluffy as a brush so I'm not distributing a lot of product. And due to that, this is going to take me forever. Forever, if I ever make any moves on it, because I can't use a lot. Because it was not made for my skin type. But it got so lost in the depths of my collection that prior to it being expired, I didn't think about it. I didn't use it, I didn't touch it, I didn't see it to think about, hey, I should probably gift this to someone with a darker complexion who is going to be able to get better use on it. It is what it is, and with that, I am just going to use it for the week and try my darndest. Try my best. We'll see what happens. Next here, I do have my Makeup Revolution Ghost Lights Vivid Baked Highlighter. This was a Halloween collection. I don't know why that word did not want to come out of my mouth. Halloween collection. 8 years ago, probably. Has a little skull in it. Hella cute. He's fun. He's starting to wear away a little bit. Not nearly as much as he should be in the last 8 years. 8 years? Maybe not quite that long. Maybe I've had it for like 6.5. I just feel like 8. It wouldn't be 8. 6.5 years. Let's say something like that. Now, if you're keeping up on these and we haven't really had a lot of repeats. I think we've had one, which is very concerning because I have been doing this for over a year and I've had one duplicate. But, if we see this roll back around with any of my products, we're probably going to notice a change in dates and not just like a year. So, I say 6.5 years right now, and then let's say this comes around in 6 months, I'll probably say like 8 years because I just don't know. I honestly don't know when so much of this stuff came into my life. I have no way of knowing. I did not mark anything. I didn't start my spreadsheet until 2021, I think. So, with that, I am trying to be better about knowing what's coming into my collection and reducing what's coming into my collection. But as for the older stuff, like I just don't know anymore. I have no idea. It's old. We're gonna stay with that. It is old. But I do really like it. It's actually quite subtle. It's very soft. It's quite natural looking. As long as you go light-handed, you can go heavy duty glow to the gods with this, but I like to be a little more natural, especially when I'm at the office. I like this. I do. I have used it a fair amount of times over the years. I know that his face is starting to fade away. So it has gotten some love. 7.5 grams. Okay, I have got to stop purchasing these humongous products that I will never get through in my entire life cycle. So it is what it is. Let's use him for the week and see what happens. Ooh, a little more She Glam. Ooh, and from the Wretched Romance collection again. That's interesting. This is the red color, which they are not listed on here, but I did write them down when I ordered them. This one was called Gore-Geous, Gore, just gorgeous. It's really pretty. I don't know. I like it. It still works absolutely beautifully. This is probably, I want to say 4 years old. 2020? Was that right? 4 or 5 years old. But they're really, really pretty. I do just kind of have it as a secondary liner on just my wing part. It works. It went over shadows beautifully. There wasn't any tugging or pulling, and it's still very beautiful and pigmented. So I am going to use this for the week and see what kind of love I can get on it. Eventually, of course, they will dry out. I'm honestly kind of surprised it's not yet, but I haven't used it a ton over the last 5 years. So it's going to get some love. It very much deserves. And eventually I would like to get all these liquid lipsticks, these liquid eyeliners out of my collection because I don't use them enough to warrant having multiple colored liquid eyeliners in my collection when I have my hydroliners. Those seem easier to maintain. They seem like they aren't gonna have components in them that are gonna go bad as quickly because they can't dry out. They're designed to be dry each time I put them away. So I'm gonna try to stop purchasing colored liquid eyeliners and just get rid of the ones that I have. Next here I have my Guerlain lip gloss. That wasn't coming to me. In the shade 463, so these are just numbered. And as you can tell, there is an absolute ton of windowing happening, so I don't think there's very much left in this lip gloss. This has been one of my favorites. It is like 10 years old, so it's old, but it's been loved. And it still smells fine. There's nothing weird going on with it. There's not like chunks or anything in the formula. So I think this is another one I need to throw in my bag, paired with my liquid lipstick. Just get rid of these in the next week or two. I think I can. I think I can get them out of the door in 2024. I did not mean for that to rhyme, but I think I absolutely can get rid of these this year. I've got a month left, and I think these both have maybe a dozen uses left in them, if that. So I'm going to use these up. I'm going to get rid of them. And, let's see if I can do it this week. Let's see what happens. Last, this is a beast, and this is old as well. Was everything old? Pretty old. Okay. Which is weird because it's not like I didn't bring anything into my collection this year. I am actually waiting on a Sephora order and another order. Black Friday. I'm sorry. I did too, but I am still on track to spend less than I have in the last couple of years. So I haven't crossed that threshold, and I'm going to hold steady. I'm going to make sure that I do not pass that. I'm getting close. So hopefully, I'm done spending, but I'm not letting myself pass what I have spent in the last couple of years. That is my game plan. That is my goal. And, as long as I have small goals that are attainable, I am happy. This is the Dolly's High Roller palette, I think it was called. It doesn't say what it is on it anywhere, and it is probably 10 years old. It is so freaking old that I cannot confirm, but I'm pretty sure it was the Dolly's High Roller palette. Now, it did come with a mascara and an eyeliner. Those are both long gone. Long gone. Those were the liquid things. I did use those up. This might have actually been a gloss. I cannot remember. But regardless, they are gone. So I do have the bronzer, highlight, and blush. This is the Dolly blush. It's a very popular color. And then just a couple eyeshadows here as well. This is going to be interesting that I did pull it where I also have a blush and a highlight. So I'm going to try and like mix and match, see what I can do so that I'm getting more use. But I've always really liked these face colors. I have used them quite a bit. The bronzer actually has like a really good dip going, so I've definitely gotten some love on that in the past 10 years. Blush, a little bit as well. And I try to use these shadows, but honestly, like, they're just so bleh. They're so... nah. There's nothing spectacular about them. They're very muted. They're very cool toned, which, fine, okay. But, like, this one, I just don't even see a point, really. It doesn't do anything for me. This one I used as my crease shade today, and then I kind of gave it some definition with this guy. I have used this one quite a bit as well, just as an outer corner. I didn't today, but I will through this week. I definitely will get some use on every single color in this palette during the week. And, like, I like it. So I have a hard time giving this one up because honestly, the face shades I really like, even though I know I have those colors elsewhere in my collection. For sure I do. But alas, not the point. The point is to use this for the week, and I will. I do actually really like this palette. It's one of those ones that I had bought just when I worked at Sephora way back when, and I think it was like a Christmas palette 10 years ago. It's one of those. So it was probably on sale, and it was just a purchase that I really didn't think about. I didn't really need, but it was in front of me, and it was on sale, so I picked it up. And I don't regret it, because like I said, I really like the face colors, but the eyeshadows are just so boring to me. And I don't know, I do have a couple other of their eyeshadow palettes from when they started doing like the build your owns, and I really like those shades. I don't know, it's just the ones that they picked in here I find very boring, very basic. And that very well may be for somebody else. The shades just aren't for me. They don't complement my skin tone very much, and that's kind of the bottom line there. But with that, I do mix it with other things. I mixed it with my Pat McGrath palette today, my holiday one from like 2 years ago with that. Love me some holiday collections, apparently. And that's the thing. These shadows are not shadows that can just be used on their own. I find that they are companion shades, and that's fine. That is exactly what I'm going to do all week. I will use them as companions. I will bring other things into play with, and yeah, that's going to be my week. That's it. That's all. That's everything. I am focusing on a few things. There are a couple more makeup items I think I can use up before the end of the year, which is amazing. I have 4 weeks left. It is December, people. It is December of 2024, and I don't understand what happened to the year. It's just a lot happened this year. It was a busy year. There were some huge changes in my life. I got Flynn. I got my puppy, and he is a big boy now. He cannot fit in my lap. He is probably close to 70 pounds, and he's only 9 months old. And he's outside my door crying right now, so I should probably go so that I can let him wander in my room. He usually just comes in to ask for treats anyway, because he knows if he comes in, he usually just gets a little something, just, to say hi. He's very spoiled. But it's fine. He's in really good shape. He is mad at me, though, because we have not been able to go for his walks for the last week-ish. It has been like minus 20. And I just can't do it. And I don't want his paws to freeze on the concrete. Like, it's a whole thing. I don't want him hurt. I don't want to get frostbite. So we are waiting. It's supposed to warm up this week, so he will be able to go back on his walks, and he will be so happy and less bored. With that, have yourselves a wonderful day, evening, weekend, journey, and I will see you all next time.